The life of an emperor's concubine was never easy. Not only were they expected to please their emperor at all times, they also had to fight for their position in the hierarchy of the harem. But how exactly were they ranked? Welcome to my channel, and today let's find out about the chosen ones, how emperors' concubines were ranked. The first and most important thing that would determine a concubine's status was her beauty. Beauty was everything when it came to getting picked by the emperor. In fact, it was the deciding factor for all the privileges and power a woman could get in the harem. The more beautiful a concubine was, the higher up the ranks she could climb. And beauty wasn't just skin deep. It was also about the figure, the gait, the color of the hair, eyes, and skin, as well as the manners and intelligence of the concubine. In short, beauty was a combination of physical attributes, personality traits, and grace. Next came birth. Concubines born into influential families with rich, powerful connections were always given preference over those without connections. Having a famous family name might have got a woman into the emperor's good graces, but it was her beauty that would determine how long she would stay there. The final and perhaps most important factor was the emperor's favor. If a concubine managed to win over the emperor, then she would be granted more privileges and her status would be elevated. However, if the emperor took a disliking to her, then no matter how beautiful she was or who her family connections were, she would be sent out of the palace without a second thought. Concubines were usually ranked from E to A, with E being the lowest and A being the highest. A concubine's rank determined her status and power in the harem. Higher-ranked concubines enjoyed more privileges and had greater access to the emperor than lower-ranked ones. For instance, a concubine with a higher rank would get better living quarters, more servants, and greater access to the emperor. They were also given more say in the other concubines' matters and could even participate in courtly affairs. A concubine's rank also determined the kind of work she would be assigned to. Lower-ranked concubines were given menial tasks such as cleaning and cooking, while higher-ranked ones were often involved in more important matters, such as planning the emperor's schedule or managing his correspondence. It is important to note that the system was not static, and a concubine's rank could change depending on the emperor's favor and other factors. A concubine who was once low-ranking could rise to the top if she caught the emperor's fancy. Similarly, a high-ranking concubine could fall out of favor and lose her status. Being an emperor's concubine was a risky business. Not only did they have to deal with the constant threat of being replaced, they also had to navigate the complex politics of the harem. However, for those who made it to the top, the rewards were great. Not only did they enjoy all the privileges that came with being a high-ranking concubine, but they also had the emperor's ear and could influence him in matters of state. Now you know how the emperors chose their concubines and how these women were ranked in the imperial hierarchy. Do you think you would have made a good concubine? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.